It's probably due to the rain. They had to close it down. Well, let's go to the Tree People Trail. Yeah, obviously, LAWP, the power company, shut it down. This is a Tree People Trail. It's actually a loop in Sherman Oaks, south of Ventura. We meaning the family, have been coming here to hike for a little over 30 years, on and off. Of course, if you look at me now, it's more off than on, but it's a beautiful place. In the middle of the San Fernando Valley. Well, I wouldn't say middle. It's actually 5 to 10 minutes away from over the hill. If you drive to Beverly Hills and Bel Air and so forth. I would say it's always been 10 degrees cooler than the middle of San Fernando Valley. It's always been like that. South of Moore Park, to be exact, it's when it starts to get cooler. I'm not sure if I'm going to do the loop. I intended to go to the other park, which has lakes, a huge reservoir, and lakes where you see fish and frogs and turtles. There's a stage right there. Overlooking the valley, right there. So the one that's closed, Franklin, is a huge park, a huge place that you can walk all the way up to a tip of Hollywood, and cars actually run through it. But it has a lot of, off-road trails that you can take, several different trails, or you could stay on the main road, even asphalt. Usually you come to the fork of those two main roads. As you see, you could choose which trail you want to take, and then the road will bring you back to this spot. Depends if you want to go up first or you want to go downhill first. It's your choice. You have a choice in life. Did you know that? That's why I could never understand Calvinism. Even though John Bunyan wrote that book in the 1700s called Pilgrim's Progress. It's the best-selling book of all time, of course after the Bible, and I am always shocked when many people haven't heard of it, especially Christians. You may want to take a look at that one. It's a wonderful book. By a Calvinist, nonetheless, where he talks about many forks in the road, and you have to take a choice. It just makes no sense to me. I just have a feeling Calvinists in those days, like him and Spurgeon, had a different understanding of what they teach today. But anywho, I chose to take the uphill one first, not because I want to make the whole loop. I should have brought the book with me. I could have sat on one of those benches and read it. I'm going to show you some beautiful views from up there. Quite a scene right here in the valley. I keep saying the valley. I don't think it is the valley. I guess part of Sherman Oaks is in the valley, and another bigger part is up on the hills. It's a wonderful place to live and raise kids. I have not been here for a long time. I'm pausing because I don't want you to hear my breathing while I go uphill. As you can see, we're going up on top. And that's where we came from. If you're a beginner hiker, you may have to stop quite a few times because it is a long way. As you can tell, it's almost flat to a point we start going down a little bit. But believe me, on the way, there will be more uphill trails. By the time you get to halfway and take the streets for a while, when you take the streets into the neighborhood, you'll pass by where the Kardashians used to film in that house, and also a huge George Clooney property towards the end of that road where you start taking the dirt road again. I won't be going there to show you, but look at this magnificent view in the neighborhood of Sherman Oaks, California. I will proceed downhill a little bit more. There's another beautiful view spot. Of course, there's many throughout the whole trail, the whole loop. You'll come to see the massive view of the valley from this point, and I'll give you a teaser right here. We'll approach a much wider open area to show you. Okay, here we come to it. Much wider area. Well, I'll just show you the view from here. San Fernando is such a big city, big area. San Fernando Valley. Of course, the trail continues that way. And don't think for a second that I can't do it. I can. I just choose not to today. I wasn't prepared. I was at a nursery buying some lemon balm and artemisia, which is a wormwood plant that I ordered. And I was close to the area, so I figured I'd stop by. Haven't been here for a while. How'd you like to live in that house? There's an infinity pool right there at that house. All right, well, let's go back up and then down. If you've never been here, you might want to consider it. It's a beautiful place. And it's only going to get hotter past noon, probably 1 or 2 might be the hottest for today, although it is a much cooler day than yesterday and the day before, where it was 90 on Saturday. I remember it reached 90 in the valley. So make sure you bring the proper attire, a hat, sunscreen, and your dog, if you have one. Bring a friend or a spouse. Or, as many I see walking here, have their headphones on. Either way, you have a choice. I guess that's just the theme of this video. You have a choice in life. You will definitely come across a lot older people than you think. And when I say older, yes, I mean in their 70s, in great shape. Probably been doing this for many years. Another great spot. In case you haven't seen my morning video, when I was up on the roof trying to do some things, the chemtrail video, of course you see the end result of it from the morning. I'm looking in the sun, so I'm not sure if you're seeing. I think you see it better than I do. Yes, I have a lot of videos that cover a multitude of topics. Some of them are just like this, nature. You can call me a jack of all trades, a master of none, but more often, better than one. Did you know that the whole saying is a positive one and not a negative one? They always take the last line out. It's okay to be a jack of all trades and a master of none, because more often, it's better than one. If you have one trade, you didn't know that, did you? Yeah, it is. There's a lot of quotes that have been kind of twisted or played with for some reason. Of course, I can't tell you why. That the other one that comes to mind is blood is thicker than water. What does that mean? Initially, it has something to do with the blood of the covenant is better than the water of the womb. Of course, that's easy to figure out. Meaning, if you have a brother or sister in Christ, it's a much closer relationship, because Christ is involved, of course, than a sibling that's born from the same womb. I mean, that's how it all started, right? When Cain killed Abel. He was Abel, wasn't he? Okay, that was a joke, a bad one maybe. Yeah, so they both came out of the same womb, but Cain was jealous because Abel gave the sacrifice that God asked them to make. Where art thou, Cain? God yells, as if he didn't know. Back at this stop. Of course, God was so merciful, full of grace, wanted to give Cain another chance. He put a hedge around him. I know I can't help myself. How could you see this beautiful nature and not have God in mind? Wow. All right, so this is the road. It's good for your calves. It's not that steep, not that terrible, if you have the right shoes on especially. And we're going back to where we started. Here we are, to the fork in the road. I'm heading back because I have some lemon balm plant in my car. I don't want it to get hot. Nice shady area. Yeah, that other Franklin, that's closed when I went there in the beginning. It's much more plain, and they have a lot of picnic tables. People celebrate birthdays and whatever for the kids. It's a much more family-oriented park. Of course, you could do the trails as well. All right, heading back to the parking lot. Yep, believe it or not, that's me. Walking towards the car in the parking lot now. This is me walking backwards. Here we are. This is so good for you, the stairs, the loop, the up and down. The air is so fresh. It's just another way that takes you not to that same place where I went. It actually passes it to the right side, the side that we didn't take, the side that goes downhill first. It just gives you the heads up on that. It kind of cuts it through. Yeah, so I've been waiting for this plant for a couple of months. It only comes in the spring at most places. It's called lemon balm. It's from the mint family. Has bigger leaves, if you could tell so far. Very healthy. This is good if you have sleep apnea. And once you plant it, it really grows everywhere. You don't have to do much. Even more than mint, it spreads real quick. All right, we're coming to the end of this video. Just in case you missed where it is. Coldwater and Mulholland. Not sure when they will open that Franklin Park, but hopefully soon. It's always kind of a mess when it rains. A lot of areas flood, so they have to shut it a few times. Anyway, here we are. I hope you enjoyed the video.